Raleigh, North Carolina, and Austin, Texas are two of the hottest cities to move to in the United States. But does one have an advantage? I'm Allison Wernerowski with the W Real Estate Group in Raleigh, North Carolina. And this video will compare both cities to let you decide which one would fit your needs the best. Starting off, you will find that these two cities have quite a bit in common and are both some of the best places in the country to call home. Both Austin, Texas and Raleigh, North Carolina are routinely among some of the best places to live in the country overall. While Raleigh has remained at or near the top of many of these lists in 2023, Austin has moved a little bit further down, mostly due to the rising costs of living. Austin is the capital of Texas and is located just southeast of the middle of the state along I-35, which conveniently connects it to Dallas and San Antonio. Raleigh is also the state's capital, located in the center of North Carolina along I-40. Austin is definitely the bigger city of the two, with the estimated population of around 965,000 to Raleigh's 470,000, a metro population of 2.23 million to Raleigh's 1.6 million, and a population density of 3,020 people per square mile to Raleigh's 3,240, as both cities are known to be spread out. This leads to a similar feel between the two, as you'll find both have pretty suburban feels outside of their downtown areas overall, although Austin has a much larger urban footprint. Austin's downtown area has a bigger city vibe than Raleigh's, and both cities are still rapidly expanding with tower cranes seemingly everywhere. Many say that Raleigh is following in Austin's footsteps, as it's about 5 to 10 years behind it development-wise. The Colorado River, running just south of Austin, makes for some pretty amazing views, while Raleigh is known for its towering oak trees, which are everywhere, and make it a really beautiful place. When driving around, Austin feels more open than Raleigh, as while it does have some trees, it's not nearly to the extent of Raleigh. And while some of Austin is flat, as you would imagine, it has some rolling hills like Raleigh. The weather is where we get to our first major difference between Austin and Raleigh. While both cities have subtropical climates with generally long summers, mild winters, and plenty of humidity, Austin would definitely be considered the warmer city. On average, Austin averages in the mid-90s in the summer and low 60s in the winter, while Raleigh averages in the mid to upper 80s in the summer and low 50s in the winter. And both have humidity in the summer that raise the heat index another 5 to 10 degrees. But Austin's summers last another month or two longer than Raleigh's and can definitely be more intense heat-wise, while Raleigh has longer and more distinct spring and fall seasons, which are the most beautiful times of the year. Both cities also have misconceptions about tornadoes and hurricanes, as Austin is rarely ever impacted by tornadoes due to its topography to the west. And the last major impact from a hurricane in Raleigh was back in 1996. Moving on, let's talk about jobs. Both cities have very hot job markets, as Austin has the second and Raleigh has the 5th hottest job market in the United States right now, and both have average salaries of right around $70,000 per year. Austin and Raleigh are also similar in being known for jobs in the STEM field, as Austin has been dubbed the Silicon Valley in the South, while Raleigh is directly adjacent to the Research Triangle Park, which is the world's largest technology research center. Apple and Google, for example, have been in Austin for 5 to 10 years now, while both are really just getting started in the Raleigh area and are building large campuses over the next few years, which will drive more growth in Raleigh. So if you're in the technology, research, or health-related fields, both cities are great options. In regards to education, North Carolina is regularly ranked in the top 25% in the country for its public school system, while Texas has been in the bottom 25%. But Austin is still known to have decent public schools in relation to the rest of Texas. While Raleigh is not at the very top of the list in North Carolina, it's in the top 10 and known to have a pretty good public school system overall. For colleges, it's hard to beat the variety that surrounds Raleigh. NC State University is located in Raleigh, and UNC Chapel Hill and Duke University are within 30 to 45-minute drives. Between these schools, you can major in just about anything you can think of. But Austin does have the University of Texas located right in the city, which is a massive university that offers an incredible variety of majors from STEM to medical to liberal arts. Next up, let's see which city your dollar goes further in. When you consider overall cost of living, Austin is around 30% above the national average, while Raleigh is just around 2% over. Most of this is really due to the housing market, as Austin's housing market is 90% above the national average, with an average sales price currently around $575,000, while Raleigh's is 18% above the national average, with an average sales price of around $415,000. and both areas have their fair share of luxury homes, as Austin and Raleigh have some very wealthy neighborhoods and suburbs as well. General cost of living vary between the two cities, depending on the category, but they are fairly similar overall. Gas prices, for example, are both in the low $3 a gallon range right now, but the major differences comes in food and drink costs, as Austin was recently rated as the third most expensive city in the country for a night out, as the beer and cocktail prices are especially pricey. When it comes to taxes, a major benefit of Austin and Texas in general is that there is no state income tax, while Raleigh is subject to North Carolina's income tax. But Austin's property tax rates are very high, at around $2.20 per $100 of property value, while Raleigh's are just over $1. Also, Austin's sales tax on all goods and services is 8.25% versus Raleigh at 7.25%. And Austin has more toll roads than Raleigh spread throughout the city. So while it may initially seem that Austin has lower taxes overall, it's actually one of the more expensive cities to pay taxes in, while Raleigh's taxes are overall low in comparison to most US cities. Moving on, let's talk about the general lifestyle and culture of Austin and Raleigh. Both cities are generally young, diverse, and progressive. Both have many transplants from around the country due to their recent population booms, which provides a healthy mix of different people and lifestyles. While the average ages of both cities are right around 33 to 34 years old, Austin feels like the younger city as it has an excellent social scene and vibrant downtown, and it definitely has the faster paced feel between the two. And while there are also tons of young professionals in Raleigh, its social scene is still growing and is currently categorized more as a great place to raise a family, given how much it caters to families and kids in general. Austin's downtown is also much larger than Raleigh's and allows residents the opportunity to live there and get by without a car. So parts of Austin's downtown are definitely walkable. Raleigh's downtown is growing rapidly, but is still another 10 plus years away. Speaking of cars, let's talk about traffic, as Austin's traffic is known to be painful to drive in, and rush hour can start as early as 2:30 and last until 7. Raleigh, on the other hand, does have some congested areas, but overall it's very manageable to drive in. Now, Austin does have a light rail and a more robust busing system than Raleigh, and this is something that Raleigh leaders have talked about adding for a while. But like Austin, Raleigh was not originally built with the long-term vision of it being a big city. So its infrastructure is not set up for its growth, and traffic will continue to get worse over time. For the last category, let's look at both cities' entertainment options. Austin has the advantage of the big city entertainment for those who want an exciting nightlife with plenty of concerts and shows. Austin is dubbed the live music capital of the world due to the constant live music options that are spread throughout the city, with tons of bars and clubs spread around as well. And Austin also has an amazing food scene, known for its diversity of offerings. Raleigh's nightlife is growing, but there are not endless streets of nightlife to enjoy downtown, so residents typically find their go-to places and stick with them. Raleigh does have some great concert venues and is seemingly always having some sort of event downtown. And if you like craft beer, Raleigh has one of the best craft beer scenes in the nation, as there are breweries seemingly everywhere you look. And Raleigh also has an under-the-radar food scene, but it doesn't have as many diverse and authentic restaurants as Austin. Sports-wise, neither city shines with professional sports, as Austin only has Austin Football Club for soccer. Raleigh has a little more with the NHL's Carolina Hurricanes, who have turned Raleigh into a hockey town, as well as the North Carolina Football Club, Carolina Courage Soccer, and the AAA Durham Bulls baseball team nearby. Both have a pretty fun college sports scene though. The University of Texas is a perennial contender in many of the major sports, but it's hard to compare to the Raleigh-Durham Chapel Hill area, which have NC State, Duke, and UNC so close to each other, creating some of the best rivalries in college sports. And both cities excel in their outdoor recreation offerings. Austin's park system includes over 300 parks, with about 18 acres of parkland per 1,000 residents and over 200 miles of greenway trails. Raleigh has over 220 parks, with around 13 acres of parkland per 1,000 residents and around 120 miles of greenway trails, which are both amazing numbers when compared to many larger cities. And both cities have quite a bit of parkland just outside their city limits to explore, with numerous preserves, rivers, and lakes. And both cities have massive lakes nearby for freshwater fun. Raleigh is also uniquely positioned such that it's within a 3-hour drive to both the beach and the mountains, which provides an amazing variety throughout the year. So which city is best for you? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And for those looking to move to the Raleigh area, our team specializes in helping people find their perfect spot in Raleigh. and we would love to help you. I'm Allison Wernerowski with the W Real Estate Group, and thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.